Welcome to RaiderTalks. I am your host, Art Navarrete, here alongside Nick Ibarra. We have some breaking news, Nick. Mike Mayock is out as the Raiders general manager as of today. Raiders making moves on a Monday.
Yeah, I knew it was gonna come quick. I knew shit was gonna hit the fan kind of quick. The timing of it probably a little bit surprising. I thought maybe it was gonna be head coach first, and then if it was Harbaugh or somebody, then they decide on who they want kind of running the show, who they want bringing in. No, I think this was expected a little bit, no matter what we did. It was a crazy day, and it's just starting.
Yeah, this is like pretty much day one of the Raider offseason this Monday. I mean, for me, I thought it was kind of maybe like a 50-50 thing, whether Mayock stays or is gone. And it just happened that he was gone. It made it sound like Mark Davis has been planning on him leaving, planning on making sure we have a new general manager for the next year. But, man, it was a little surprising, but at the same time, not surprising. It was kind of a mix of emotions. It was a 50-50, and it just happened that Mike Mayock's gone. And, I mean, I love that MD's making some moves.
Yeah, because when we were 6 and 7, we thought, hey, he's going to be gone. There was reports and rumors out there they're going to part ways with him after the season, and then we go on the stretch, and then it had us thinking, well, what about our head coach? Pasacci might come back, and it's going to be hard for them to let go of everything. We want to keep this team intact. I think we kind of know what direction we're going to kind of go now, because like you said, this is day one of our off season.
Yeah.
And general manager's gone, and now we're on the hunt for a new GM and coach.
Well, now you really know Mark Davis is not content with just making the playoffs. We need to win in the playoffs. We need to win. It's about winning Super Bowls, and you can tell Mark Davis is aiming at that. He's trying to get a new young general manager that's going to come in, bring in some really good players. Yeah, man, I'm pretty excited about moving ahead. Mark Davis, man, I think Mark Davis, to me, he's grown since he's took ownership of the Raiders, and I think his first couple years or whatever, it was more like, okay, I'm gonna hire people, let them run the show.
Yeah.
And I think that was more the Del Rio McKenzie era. And then this time he's like, I'm gonna hire the person I want. So he hired Gruden, and then Gruden hired Mayock. And since now he's grown even more as a person, as a football guy, and I think now he's even more, his football IQ's gone up. He knows good players, he knows good talent, he knows good coaches. So now I think it's Mark Davis' show.
Yeah, he's not.
It's not any one person, one coach's show. It's not a general manager's show. It's Mark Davis' show now. And now he's going out doing what he wants, doing what he thinks is best for the Raiders organization, doing what his father would have did.
Yeah, I feel like he's now this season he's taking it into his own. He's not going to give the keys of the organization to somebody.
Yeah.
He knows what he wants, and today showed it. Now it's going to be really on him. On Mark Davis, whoever he brings in for head coach, GM, and all decisions. But it is exciting. I thought when they signed Gruden, he gave him the 10 years. It was basically, hey, you're in charge of this organization, and and I think, but now taking it, into his own hands, it's his team, it's his show. It's going to be run the way he wants it to be, and it could be a good thing, could be a bad thing, who knows. But I just like our owner stepping up and hey, this is my team, my show. Let's do this.
I like it. I like it a lot. I'm pumped up about Mark Davis. I'm pumped up about where this Raider organization is going, and we're doing this all after making a playoff run. We made the playoffs. We were one play away from staying in that game, maybe even winning the game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're right there. So now we're going to talk a little bit about the reasons Mike Mayock was fired, and maybe the reasons why we wanted to keep him. So let's hit first on the reasons why we should have wanted to keep him. For me personally, you don't know those draft picks, first round draft picks especially. Man, you don't know if that was Gruden's picks, Mayock's picks, but I could see Mark Davis looking at it and being like, you know what, it's your name on that pick. It's your name on it, so you got to pick the guy you want. Whether it was Gruden guys or not, I would have loved to see Mike Mayock on his own, picking all his guys from rounds 1 through 5 or 6. But at the end of the day, his name was on that pick. Another reason is because the talent he's finding in the lower rounds
Yeah.
is pretty amazing. I mean, he found, for example, this year he found Nate Hobbs. I mean, Diablo was a lower guy. Don't forget Renfro, Mullen, Max Crosby. Just we can name a bunch of them that helped out with his team this year. And then another thing is the free agent signings he's been getting. I mean, he got Casey Hayward, Perryman, just brought a lot of guys in, a lot of good players in. But the year before, this year was the first year where I thought he brought good free agents in. The year before, not so well. He probably got Corey Littleton in.
Yeah.
Didn't do good. Nassib didn't do good that year. So, I mean, it's 50-50 on him. And, yeah, I mean, just a couple things that I wanted to say, maybe reasons why I wanted to keep him. I was kind of excited. Maybe we're going to get Mayock on his own. But obviously, Raiders went in a different direction. I'm excited for that, too.
Yeah, no, like you said, I think, I would, because you don't know. So, I would like to see, I would have liked to see what Mayock did by himself or with a coach that says, hey, this is you. We're going to work together on this, but, you got last say, you got final say on this. So it would have been nice to see him do that. But like you said, the later rounds, we got, Moreau, Renfro, Crosby, and, Brian Edwards is, you see the little growth a little bit in there. So you hit Nate Hobbs, but yeah, I think it's all about what he did early and, like you said, the type of guys he was bringing in free agency, half of them were good.
Yeah.
And half of them were just not a fit. And like you said, Corey Littleton, we thought Corey Littleton was going to be good because he was really good with the Rams.
Yeah.
Didn't fit. And Kukowski played a couple good games, whatever. Deep down, kind of really didn't fit.
He wasn't that good.
But
he wasn't that good for us.
But then, you find guys, you come in here and, and
Perryman, a Pro Bowl.
And I think Perryman, you go trade, you need linebacker help.
Yeah.
Morrow gets hurt, you need linebacker help, you go trade, and, okay, we'll bring Perryman in and Pro Bowler. I don't know how he didn't make an All-Pro team. And, now he's the freaking Raiders franchise season and tackles. So it's just moves like that. It just gives you, like, man, we could have or what ifs or, we could have did this, we could have did that. But at the end of the day, we moved on. And kind of sucks. It's kind of good. Let's go try to find someone better, bigger and better to come and run our organization.
Yeah, so, those are the goods. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the bads. And I think these were the things Mark Davis was looking at specifically that made the decision easier for him. Because I think there is a little more bad than good. So now we're going to talk a little bit about some of the first-round picks that I believe he's messed up on. First, starting with Cleveland Farrell, his first pick. And it don't matter how good you do in those later rounds. Man, those first-round picks are got to be guys that are effective. That are going to start immediately. That are going to be game changers.
They're supposed to be your franchise.
Yeah, right, game changers. So his first pick, 2019, Cleveland Farrell. And Farrell was a fourth pick in the draft.
Fourth overall.
And, man, he's not turned out to be anything really special. And that pick was a shocker because there's a lot of guys that you could have got in front of him.
Yeah. Good.
And he's today, he's not a starter. He's just mainly a special teams guy.
Yeah. So
that's an ugly one right there.
It was weird because you had that draft class was loaded with defensive talent. You had Bosa in there, Josh Allen in there, and many other names. And it was weird hearing Mayock, like, we had Bosa ranked number 1, and, like, right next to him, like barely beat him, Cleveland Farrell. And it's just like really, like, you had the Josh Jacobs pick and Abram pick. You could have picked Cleveland right there.
Yeah.
And those two. And then he said, well, high character.
Yeah.
But,
that was my next point about high character. We'll talk about that later.
And it's had some good games, some really good games against the Chargers. And that's just, you always hear his name against the Chargers for some reason. Solid, yeah. Worth the fourth overall pick? No, not really. Saw some playing time first couple years. And it seemed like this year he would be in there when people were either tired or on special teams, and so it sucks. Whatever. I like Cleveland as person, as player, but not worth the 4th overall.
So now going on to 2020 first-round draft picks. We have 3 of them. 3 first-round draft picks. You're pumped up. You got Mike Mayock, the guru. We have 3.
2.
We have 3.
2020 was Ruggs and Arnett.
No, it was Ruggs, Arnett, and Bowden.
No.
Yeah.
The 3 was the year before with Cleveland, Jacobs, and Abram.
Oh, was the 2 then?
Yeah. This
I
one's 2.
thought
This one's 2 because
Bowden was the early second then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Early third.
Okay, now I remember Bowden's pick.
Yeah.
Now I remember Bowden's pick. My bad. Messed up on that one. But we had 2.
Yeah.
And then 2019, 2020, we have the guru, we have the guy. We go out and get Henry Ruggs. He can't blame him for that pick. Henry Ruggs looked like he was going to be a star. There was no background about Henry Ruggs being, a delinquent or anything.
No.
And man, you know what happened? Henry Ruggs car accident. He's gone. So I mean, though that it's not really Mayock's fault, it goes down as Mayock's fault because he's gone now. He's not a Raider anymore.
Yeah, these ones didn't have a really good first year, but you got to remember they were just thrown out onto play. Like you guys are playing, no OTAs, no anything because the whole COVID thing happened. Ruggs came out second year, balled out for however many games we had, like 6 or 7 of them, if I'm not wrong. Really balled out, showed that he was the deep threat, the number 1. Anytime we needed 20, 30 yards, we're going to throw to him, and it was just a sad situation. No one could ever said, hey, that's a bad pick because he's going to do this in a couple years. It's just unfortunate that happened to him and to the Raiders.
Totally opposite is Damon Arnett, a guy that Mike Mayock, John Gruden, they both knew that this guy has a history, has some troubled history, and they still went out and drafted him way higher than he was supposed to be drafted. He was supposed to be a mid-second rounder or lower second rounder.
Something like that.
And we picked him with one of our first picks in the draft, and that was like a mid-round pick too. And that one was horrible from the beginning. Never liked the pick from the start, and you saw why why he wasn't a first-round pick or probably going to be a second-round pick. You saw why teams passed on him. He ended up. On an Instagram Live, had some guns, threatening people, and then boom, he's gone just like that. I think it probably might have helped us because he was that bad. He was not a good corner, but that was a horrible pick as well.
Yeah, I forced myself to kind of get excited for this one when we picked him. And everyone's draft boards, he wasn't even top 5. He wasn't even this, and and I would I think it was called like Sounds of the Draft or whatever when they called him the phone calls and. Mayock was like, hey, you're better than Okudah, right? He's like, yeah, I am. Let's do it. All right, we're picking you with this. And it's like, okay. You watch some of his film in Ohio, and it's just like, okay, yeah, maybe. But no, you're right. I think maybe if he did, maybe one decent game, one good game. Other than the rest, you saw him get beat, get burned. Not even, the ball's right there where he can just pick it, and he doesn't even do anything.
Jogging on the field.
I think that one you could say bust, waste of a pick. I hate to put bad on anybody, but I think it was good that we cut our ties right there.
Yeah. Now we go on to 2021. The Raiders had 1 first rounder, and we picked Alex Leatherwood. A shocker, and we. To put in perspective, I didn't think it was a good pick at all. I know Leatherwood still has time to develop, but first of all, we already moved him inside.
Yeah.
We drafted him as a right tackle. It said guard/tackle, but we drafted him as a right tackle. Put him at right tackle mid-year, gets moved to the middle, put Brandon Parker there, who is definitely not a starting right tackle. He's a backup right tackle at best. And Leatherwood had a lot of flags on him, a lot of holdings, and it really, this pick really looked bad in the playoff game against the Bengals because Leatherwood had a horrible game. I think he had a couple holdings, and he definitely was letting people run past him easy. He was downfield on one of them. I mean, he just played horrible, and it just made the pick look even worse. Hopefully he gets better throughout time, but still not a good pick. No one was going to pick Leatherwood in that place there. He was a second rounder.
Yeah, this is, like you said, we're into 2021. This is the 3rd year in a row where us Raider fans were like, okay, got some good names on the board still. let's go after it. And then, Alex Leatherwood, we just look like, Alex Leatherwood.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
someone I liked in that draft, like you could even got like some guy like Najee Harris at that position right there. And I know we had running backs.
Yeah.
We just signed Kenyon Drake before that. But, I mean, you could have held off on signing Kenyon Drake and got like a Najee.
Yeah, well,
and a skilled player.
Yeah, or, or with the things I was reading, Parsons might have fallen. I think we were maybe like 4 or 5 picks short.
And you could have went in.
Yeah.
You could have went in with Brandon Parker right tackle and Alan Minor.
And that was the one where we were just like, okay, some names on the board. What are we gonna do? Are we gonna try to wide receiver? Or are we gonna try to corner again? What are we gonna do? And then it's Alex Leatherwood. It's like, oh man. And then you hear he's gonna be a left tackle, or he's a left tackle,
but he's gonna be a right
tackle.
tackle.
But now we're gonna move into a right tackle because of Colt Miller. And then 3 or 4 games in, now he's a guard, and he improved a little bit, but still every flag we're like, ooh, what is Leatherwood doing? So I mean, only time will tell. This is only year 1, but not looking good.
Yeah. So those picks were probably the reason he didn't make it another year for the Raiders. And some other things I'm going to say is he said he was going to only high character guys are going to be on this team. He drafted Farrell. Only high character guys are going to be on this team. Antonio Brown, not a high character guy. Vontaze Burfict, not a high character guy. Richie Incognito, not really a high character guy. Then you get Arnett. That happens. Not a high character guy. And then Ruggs was a high character guy, but what happened? You just got to put them in that category.
Yeah.
And all those are not high character guys, and all those don't match up with what he was saying. So that's just another thing.
Yeah,
that you can put toward it.
I mean, it was his deal, whatever. But it just seems like interviews was more important to him than tape. You know what I mean? And or than talent. You know, hey, I really like this guy. Good story, good this, good that. We're gonna take him here. There's a lot of players that we could have taken. And it sucks because in 19 and in 20, you had 5 picks.
Mm-hmm.
You had 5 first-round picks and 5 first-round picks in 2 years.
6 and 3.
Yeah, but that's a lot of picks within the 2-3 year span to where we could have really got this franchise really, really going and talent just everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And worried about if they were really good or if we hit on everything, worried about the extensions and the whatever later, but where we could have been really good and just explosive player here, explosive player there, explosive player there.
Mm-hmm.
But out of this, we've only hit on 2 or 3,
Mm-hmm.
maybe even 2, and because Morgan looks good, but he wasn't a first round pick.
Yeah.
So no, it sucks, and these are the reasons why he's no longer a Raider.
Yeah. So now that Mike Mayock is no longer a Raider, we heard reports of some candidates for the Raiders, so we're gonna tell you those candidates. First guy is the Colts assistant GM, and that's Ed Dodds. He started off as a pro personnel intern for the Raiders in 2003, 2006. So he started off as a Raider. I heard he was a big Al Davis guy. Loved Al Davis. He has a scouting background. And today he interviewed with the Chicago Bears. So he looks like he's going to be probably the top choice or up there for the Raiders. Then you got the Patriots director of player personnel, Dave Ziegler. He's 44 years old. Ed Dodds is 41. So you like those young guys coming in. They know the game.
Yeah.
They know today's game, not the old game of football. And then you got a top candidate in-house. You got Dujon Daniels, assistant director of player personnel for the Raiders right now. So he's a guy that is going to be in the mix as well. You never know. I like Ed Dodds. You can see the Colts, how they're pretty talented.
Yeah.
They're very talented.
Drafted really well.
He's a big part of that.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited about Ed Dodds if we have a chance to get him. Dave Ziegler from the Patriots. Don't know too much about him, but he's a director of player personnel, so he works with all the players. He sees all the players. and the Patriots always have some talented young guys coming in that are late round draft picks or some little stud white boy or something.
Yeah.
So the Patriots have pretty good talent coming in. I would say Ziegler is more, if it's like the normal Patriots thing, you're not gonna get superstars. You're gonna get guys like Mayock got, like Renfro. Well, Renfro's a superstar.
Well,
but
I
you
see
know
what
I'm
you
saying?
mean.
You're gonna get guys that are kind of under the radar.
You can get a whole bunch of
little solid
good
players.
middle of the line players.
But I think we have that already.
Yeah.
I think we need some guy like Ed Dodds that wants to win now, that is gonna get the superstar.
Yeah.
That maybe gets Odell Beckham Jr. instead of Deshaun Jackson. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So Ed Dodds looks like a go-getter. I've seen that in his interviews. Seen a couple things about him. Daniels from the Raiders, don't know too much about at all. So that should be a surprise. So we'll see. Those are all the three candidates so far that we heard on Twitter and all the news. So I'm pretty excited. I'm going to be pumped up when we sign our general manager.
Yeah, I think I think instead of going after a name, we're going to go after knowledge. Let's go do this. Let's go do that.
And I think a little bit the young upcoming guy.
Yeah,
because you want someone young, like I said, understands this style of football.
Yeah, you want someone now that can play in this era of football, or think this era of football. For GM, he's obviously
Yeah.
But no, I think Mark Davis is gonna want his guy, and I think Mark Davis knows what he wants, and come in here and tell me what I want to hear, tell me what I'm thinking, and you're gonna be my guy. So hopefully we get our guy, and and then what I think the head coach search begins. Yeah,
that's enough of the general manager talk. We got all the candidates down. We saw all of them. Hopefully we get a good one. Thank you to Mike Mayock. I mean, you had a winning record with us. You're one game over 500, and you took us to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So thank you for all you did. If you stayed, I would have been pumped up. Now you're gone. I'm pumped up for the future of the Raiders, but thank you for everything. Now let's talk a little bit about the head coaching situation with the Las Vegas Raiders. As of today, Bisaccia is still the head coach. He's the active head coach for the Las Vegas Raiders. And if he wants to be the coach, he's going to need an interview, and we're going to interview all our guys. If you're not going to get a big name guy in to interview, if you don't see it on Twitter that Harbaugh or it's one of these big name guys, upcoming guys are going to interview, then we're probably staying with Rich Bisaccia. As of today, the only head coaching candidates is Bisaccia, and then we are interviewing Jared Mayo, the Patriots linebacker coach. So those are the only two guys right now we heard of. No Harbaugh news yet. No news of any other guys. So as of right now, sticking with Bisaccia.
Yeah. What he did this season was incredible. To sit there, just be a special teams coach. I think his title is special teams / assistant head coach, but to be just a special teams coach, and then all that stuff happened, and on Monday you wake up and you're special teams coach. Tuesday you're getting a team ready to go play. It's hard. I felt for him, and it was just like, okay, he's gonna do better and better, and you saw that better and better and better and better, and during the win streak. You saw him really kind of coach, and hey, we're gonna go for it here, or we're gonna go do this, do that, and now I wouldn't mind him staying but like you said, if Harbaugh doesn't come and interview, or if we don't get that name to come in and interview, what he did was good, but if we're gonna give a young dude a chance, and hey, if
you have a chance to upgrade, you saw right now.
Yeah,
we fired Mayock because Mark Davis thinks we have a chance to upgrade.
Yeah.
And it ain't no different at the coaching position either. I think as of right now, I feel the same as I did about Mayock. It's 50-50. You never know what's going to happen. Right now, for Rich Bisaccia, it is definitely 50-50. The odds actually have Harbaugh coaching the Raiders next season is higher than Bisaccia.
Yeah.
I think Harbaugh's going to be the coach over Bisaccia. And then you saw a list running down there, but
I saw one Michigan report that said that he's more likely to coach the Raiders than even Michigan next year.
This next year.
So I mean, I'm excited for.
We're gonna know these next few days.
I'm excited for no matter what. Bisaccia was a good head coach. Everyone seems to rally around him. And which is a good thing. But then again, if you go get that superstar head coach in Harbaugh, who's a
Harbaugh
proven
is a
winner.
superstar head coach.
And and with that, proven winner. He's been in the Super Bowl. He's been in NFC championships. He's coached big games. They were unranked last season.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just talking the Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
They were unranked last season, and they come in ranked number 2
Make it to a college football
and
playoff.
make it to the college football playoff. They finally won that big game against Ohio State and everything. I think he's ready to come back, and I think he wants to do it.
I think he
in Las
wants.
Vegas.
I think he wants to win a Super Bowl, and I heard Mark Davis and Harbaugh are good friends, so that helps out our situation a little bit. Looking at all this, I feel like we might be fighting with Bears over some guys. Dodd's interview for the job.
Yeah.
I heard a lot of fans. I know a lot of Bears fans want Harbaugh. There's nothing really linked to Bears and Harbaugh, but a lot of Bears fans want Harbaugh as well. Hopefully we can get both of those guys. And we'll be feeling good.
I see us as the spot just for anybody. I think out
No
of all
taxes. The taxes.
well, even that. I mean, we're
beautiful new stadium.
we were 10-7, you
Yeah.
know, and we were 10-7. We didn't get blown out in the playoff game.
Yeah, and you do have a proven quarterback.
Yeah, or whichever way they want to go.
Yeah.
But still, the talent's there, the roster's there. Just a couple pieces, bring in your guys.
Yeah,
And I think we got the best head coaching opening.
Yeah,
And I think we've got, to where people were like, oh, well, people saying Broncos or this or that. And no, I think it's us. And I think whoever would come in would be lucky to come in.
Well, first of all, we're 10-7, made the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I think a big deal, like I just said, is the quarterback situation. We know Derek Carr, he's proven himself that he's going to be a solid quarterback in the National Football League.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a guy like Harbaugh don't want a Trevor Lawrence situation with Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
Or a guy you don't know, is unproven or anything. Whether you love Carr, middle about Carr, hate Carr, he's proven. He's proven himself to be a good quarterback in the National Football League, a top 10 quarterback.
Yeah.
And I think coaches attract to that.
Yeah, because, I'm just going to throw a couple teams out there. The Bears, their quarterback situation is horrible right now. Broncos, their quarterback situation is horrible. They're still trying to find Peyton Manning's successor over there.
And do you know if Harbaugh's coming? He's coming to win.
Yeah.
He don't want to sit back. And
He's not going to sit there and say, hey, give me 2 years.
Yeah,
give me 2 years and I'll get us back to the playoffs.
Yeah, because he'll just go back to Michigan and try to make it to another college football playoff if he really won that, because Harbaugh's a winner. He don't like to lose. So he's going to go wherever he wants to win. I think, like you said, the destination for the Raiders might be the best. Playoff team, 10-7, proven quarterback, pretty good defense, pretty good offense, all around, pretty solid team.
I mean,
and he feels like maybe he can coach up this team to make it to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
With the same roster he has now, without even his players yet.
Yeah, and then he'll come in, bring in his players, bring in his guys, bring in this, that, and going back to our spot, badass stadium, badass facility, badass city.
Yeah.
No, I think right now we're in a really good position, and with no matter what we do, what we get, we're in a really good position. We just made the playoffs. Yeah, we got our hearts broken, but now we're gonna get a new GM, probably gonna get a new head coach, and if it is Harbaugh, which I think me and you want him, and it's gonna be really exciting.
Yeah, I'm very excited for these next couple of days, weeks for the Raiders.
Yeah,
it's gonna be really fun. Man, it's gonna be it's a fun off season for the Raiders this year, especially knowing that we made the playoffs this year. We're 10-7, and things are looking good.
And it's gonna be different. The free agency is gonna be different. Drafts are gonna be different now with a new GM, and so yeah, it's just exciting. You want to see the changes, and we did what we did this year. We know we can get better, and
not satisfied. Not satisfied with what we did this year. Not satisfied with just making the wild card. So yeah, we're very excited about that. Soon, in these next couple of days, we're going to be posting the Raiders season review, and that's going to be pretty fun. We're just going to kind of break down the whole season, how we got to the playoffs, our lows, our ups and our downs, and then we're going to do a separate video where we grade all the positions. So we're going to grade the quarterbacks, wide receivers, corners, just everything. So look ahead for those videos.
Sure, we might even do another video like this for a head coach.
Yeah, we might have another breaking news video soon. So you never know. We'll see you guys in the next couple of days, I'm guessing. So Man, go Raiders.
Go Raiders.